Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Today is a special day. This is our fifth week of filming this program, and I'm so happy to be sharing this panel with these beautiful ladies. It's been an honor.
Can you believe it's
Absolutely.
5 weeks already? I can't
I can't
believe it's
believe it. The
five
time has
weeks.
just flown by. It has really
Oh my
flown
gosh.
by.
Very
And if you
fast.
like this show, if you really, really like this show, please like and share. I don't trust you. If you share, tell us that you shared. Tell us that you shared. It's all
And let
about
us
sharing the
know
love.
and let us know where you're sharing from.
Yeah.
Yes, let us know where you're chiming in from across the city or across the world because we are
Yes.
live to the world. Yes. This week
Yes.
has
I'm
been a
gonna go
very
ahead.
interesting week.
I'm gonna go
Hey,
ahead and grab
hey,
my phone
cousin.
and share as well. I'm gonna go ahead and share to a couple groups that I'm in.
I already
Yes.
You
shared.
did?
Good, good,
Okay.
good.
Oh, yes.
Like I
I
said, tell
did.
us you
I
shared
did
because I
that.
don't trust you. Tell us you shared. If you're
All
out there,
right.
tell me you shared.
Wait, she said you don't trust
As
me?
she
She doesn't
No,
trust us.
Victoria, I trust you. But the people who are chiming in, I want them to share and I want to see that they shared.
I'm
Yes.
I want to.
sharing.
All right. So today, grab your coffee, your tea, your water, whatever it is, and get ready. This week was jam-packed with all kinds of things. How you doing,
Mm.
Hermelin? I see you sipping something over there.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm sipping on my tea because this is gonna be a hot show.
Oh, yes, yes, indeed, yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Victoria,
Yeah.
you ready? You ready? Okay. I just
Yes,
want to say that I'm so grateful that we have been given this platform to talk because I really
absolutely.
look forward to chatting with all of you ladies and educating, empowering, and entertaining people with just the things that we've picked up and the things that we know. So, this is just a
Hmm.
great platform to do all of these things. If you really like the top five at five, you can always you can support us by going to GoFund Live. Sorry, GoFund Live. And if you want to call in, the number to call is 718-701-5720.
Mhm.
So while people are liking and sharing and coming in, I would like to just chit chat with you guys because this week was so loaded with things.
Yes.
Mm.
One of the big things that happened this week, well, there was many things that happened this week, but let's talk a little bit about the RNC, the Republican
Mm.
National Convention. Who watched? Be honest.
You
I did.
know,
You did?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I looked
Let me
into
hear
it
what
a little
Victoria
bit.
has to say because I feel like Victoria is
let me
giving.
just say that I didn't watch per se, but I did watch on TikTok. So
Oh,
Okay.
That's good because the information was delivered, so that's pretty good.
Yes.
That is
yeah,
really good
yeah,
that you
yeah,
watched
yeah.
it.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm
So,
not really partial
what do
for
you
them.
think?
So
Okay. Okay.
I think it was a show.
You
It
thought
it
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 was a
was
was.
show.
it was an absolute show. But I watched in large part because I want to have all the information that I need
Right.
going into November. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I want to know what's being promised by the RNC or the DNC. What are they promising us so that we can kind of be prepared?
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, that's always knowledge is always power. I'm a firm believer in that. But what I like to say, I confess, I didn't really watch. I was at home and I was having a good moment. I did some yoga and I said, okay, after I did that, I'm going to take my shower, which I did. And I
Mhm.
said, let me turn on the TV. And I went to turn it on and I saw Trump's face and I said, turn it off.
Turn it
I said,
off.
I don't want to ruin my vibe right now. So let me just be quiet. But I did see some highlights. I think the first night I saw some highlights, and what I saw it was about 4 minutes long. And I saw this lady, very pretty lady, but she was yelling. I don't know if she was Spanish or Indian, but all I know is that she was yelling and she was
She was
really
not.
like pushing it home
Neither the
to.
she wasn't either
She
of the.
wasn't either. Well, I
I'm
don't know.
sorry.
I don't know where she was from. All I know that she was quite loud and she was very forceful in her message that
To
we
be
must support Trump.
honest, it
I
kind of
think
reminded
that
me of
was
the
the
Hunger
tone.
Games.
I think that was the tone of the whole convention. I think the tone was very much like kind of shoving down your throat.
Yeah.
Um, I I the highlight, or maybe it's not even the highlight, but a part of it that I liked was the First Lady's speech.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody listened to it, but it really had like tones of, I don't know if they placed her there, but
It sound placed.
it sounded very much human, like she was sent in to make the president come off more human, because she
Oh.
talked about immigrants, she talked about the racial tensions in the country. I mean, she was touching on some some moments, and I'm curious to
Mhm.
see what our audience thinks.
Well,
Hey, Miss
Diani,
Lydia James, I'm curious to see what people think, if they felt like she was placed, or is she being, like one of my friends saying, she's being like an Eva Peron, like she just
Mm.
sat in the dark one night and wrote the speech by herself and
I,
didn't have it vetted.
mm,
I don't know, but
You know
yeah,
what was interesting to me is that, oh, go ahead, Victoria.
I was gonna say, like, with the first lady, I'm playing devil's advocate, but for me, how can she relate to someone like me, myself, right? As I mean, she's what, Russian? Am I correct? I
I
think
believe
I
she's
think
so,
I
yeah.
thought it was
Russian.
Yeah.
She's Russian, and as a white woman in this country, how can she understand what someone who is as a minority, what we're going through? I mean, there were so many things in that convention which had me at a question mark. I mean, I remember as Donald Trump's daughter talked about how, as a recent graduate, how she understands. I personally, I don't
Mhm.
understand how she can understand what I'm going through. I mean, yes,
Right.
she has a father that's definitely well off.
Mhm.
She doesn't have to worry about debt or anything like that, or finding a job. But as for me, as being a college graduate, have to
Mhm.
put up with loans and so forth, how can she really understand myself? I don't understand.
Right.
I don't. I mean, I understand how they were trying to relate with the public, but
Mhm.
you really can't
It's
relate. Like,
Yeah,
like
it came off as
you really
disingenuine.
can't.
What
and
he
Exactly.
and
really did is he really identified a lot. I mean, I think the overall tone really appealed to the people who are already his hardcore base.
his base,
So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, they were
Absolutely.
probably out there crying and snots drooling down their nose because they
hmm
were just so
hmm
in love with what he was saying, because he was pushing all their buttons. In regards to trying to win over new people to be a part of his agenda, I don't think that they did a good job at that, because
No.
everything that he has shown us has shown negatively. He hasn't really done a lot of positive things for the majority of the people. So
hmm
that's very problematic. And another thing that came up out of this convention this week that was very interesting is Carolyn Conway saying
Mm.
that she was quitting the White House.
yeah,
So that
yeah.
Mm.
was huge. And she's got a
Hmm.
lot of turmoil going on with her own personal family. So what do you guys think about that?
I think she had to make a choice. I think with Carolyn supporting this administration, her husband opposed the administration, her daughter openly opposes the administration.
Yes.
So I think it came down
Mm.
to her making a choice: family or profession, or
Right.
family or career. That's what I
Yeah.
think happened with Kellyanne Conway. She
Mm-hmm.
had to make a choice. And a part of me as a woman and as an independent woman, it kind of breaks my heart, because I don't think
Mm-hmm.
she should have had to choose. If she want, and put DNC, RNC aside, if that was her career, her chosen path, I mean, she was doing well in her
Mm-hmm.
career, and I'm hoping that she didn't have to step back because of a choice,
Mm-hmm.
because of her husband. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I
hoping
mean,
that's not the main reason.
but like, I learned, like, sometimes when it comes to politics, it can definitely disrupt a family. So I
Yes.
hmm
totally understand why she had to make a choice between that, because you don't want tension between your children and your spouse.
hmm
So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understand why she made that choice and why she went
Mm-hmm.
forward with that. So
What do you guys
Mm-hmm.
think about the dress the first lady was wearing? I thought it was a beautiful dress, but Sonia Makia John says the green dress blind her eyes.
I think it was an interesting choice
I
because
thought it
she's
was a
normally
beautiful.
very
Oh,
classical.
Yeah,
So this was
I
different
think
for
It was
her.
I
subtle.
think deep down she's making a statement. I think she's saying,
Yes,
"Look,
I
I
agree
am
to that.
over here." I
Yeah.
really think Melania is. I think she's making a statement. So,
Yeah.
She
Sonia,
does. They said she uses her clothes in order to, get her points
It is what
across
it is. It
because
is what it
we don't
is.
see her doing
But
a lot of public
I just want to
speaking.
tell everybody to like and share. Whoever's out there, please like and share. If you have a comment or a question for any one of the ladies or all of us, call 718-701-5720. So I think it's about time we start jumping in to the next topic. And that is
we're done with Miss. We're done with Miss
I
Melania.
mean,
I think
there's not much to say about Melania,
I think I'm the only one that wants to talk about her pretty dress.
okay.
All right,
Talk
I'm
She
about
uses her
done.
Melania.
fashion, though. She uses her
I'm
fashion
done.
to get her point across.
Yeah, of course.
She uses
Yeah.
her
Exactly.
fashion.
Her
Yeah.
fashion is
Well, I
her
don't know much
is
about her,
her,
but I know that she was a
speaking.
model at one
Oh,
point in
yes,
time.
yes,
And I've seen a lot of her clothes, and I find that she dresses very nicely. I can
yeah.
agree with that.
I
The
agree.
green
Yeah,
dress was
her clothes
okay.
is
she has
I don't
a
think
nice.
I
great
loved it, but I think it was okay.
she has a great stylist.
She
Okay, let's not
Yeah.
put it on
she
Melania. She has a great
Yes,
she
stylist.
does. She
Whoever
really
the
does.
person is, she has a great
yeah.
stylist.
She has a
Kudos to
great
them.
stylist. We can agree on that. Definitely. When it comes to her clothes,
She gives
Yeah,
she's
it.
she has it
definitely on
down.
point.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even though we've seen both conventions, the RNC and the DNC, the most important thing that needs to come out of this is that everybody needs to make that important decision.
Mhm.
November 5th is
Absolutely.
approaching.
Vote.
We
Yeah.
don't have that much time. Ladies, we got to
No,
vote.
only
What
3
did
months,
Deani
guys.
say? Deani
Yes.
said,
Rock the
Not
vote.
voting is not an option.
not
Listen,
voting is not
Is
It's
an
not
not
an
an
option.
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 Okay, so
It's
just make
really
Yes.
sure
not.
that everybody out there understands it's
Not
not an
voting
option
is
to just
not an
sit on the
option.
sidelines.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And just to
Yes.
mention, November 3rd, Tuesday, November 3rd, election. Everybody needs to vote. Hey, Miss Lydia, how you doing, love?
Yes. All right.
Yes.
What a
Okay.
week! What a week! I know. You were saying, Victoria, we have a lot to talk
Sad
about
week
today.
too.
What a
I know.
week!
A lot of weeks. So I have some Russian sparkling champagne that somebody gave me. So this is for
From
later
Russia?
after the show from Russia.
Is
A
it from
client of
Russia?
mine gave it to me. Yeah, it's from
Okay,
Russia.
are you
So
gonna
I don't
share?
understand anything it says, but it says sparkling wine. So
I
that sounds
mean,
good for dinner
I
time.
like
Yolanda, I was
that.
just in Manhattan and you didn't tell me. I could have just stopped by you.
Popped in and gotten some.
I know. Right? Okay, so this week, one of the most shocking things that came out this week that literally broke my heart on Friday was the passing of Chadwick Boseman. He
Yes.
passed on Friday. He was age
Mhm.
43. An amazing actor. Most of us know him as the star from oh my gosh,
Black
I'm
Wakanda,
drawing a
Black
blank.
Panther.
Panther,
Black
Help me out, guys. Black
Panther.
Panther.
Black
Yes.
Yes, Black
Panther.
Black Panther.
Panther.
Black Panther. And he's also
Yes.
played really important roles. He played Jackie Robinson. He played uh what's that guy? Jackie
He
Robinson
played
and James
Thurgood
Brown in
Marshall.
other movies. And
Mhm.
he's done a bunch of other things. He's a Howard graduate. Um, Brilliant young man, good
Yeah.
looking, great family. It was really heartbreaking to hear that he was going through colon cancer and he the battle is over, so now he's somewhere else in heaven
Yeah.
looking down and probably being at peace at this time in his life. And I just want to say that movie Black Panther had a huge impact on me, and it was a game changer, a real game changer. I think the coming out of Black Panther opened up so many doors, windows. It moved mountains for many other people who were into movies or who wanted to be in movies or who wanted to produce movies. It was the first time that I feel everyone was able to recognize the power of the black dollar, that we actually love to watch our own people. We will
Mhm.
show up and we will
Mhm.
show out and we will spend our
Mhm.
money. And everybody, all the big executives and all those big companies, they all noticed this. And then you just saw an explosion of black movies and sitcoms and all kinds of stuff geared towards us.
Absolutely.
So I
Exactly.
thank this movie. I thank Chadwick and the rest of the team for allowing all of this to jump off. What do you ladies have to
and
say?
the heartbreaking part for me, Victoria, is that, and of course he was suffering in privacy, which I respect. But the
Absolutely.
heartbreaking part for me is that I never got a chance to mourn with him. I had no idea he was ill, so they did a really good job of um, keeping that
Keeping it.
private. Yes,
Yeah.
but that was heartbreaking for me because I'm thinking, how many times? I mean, how many times have I seen him? How many times have I seen him in film? And if we go back, Black Panther was how many years ago? So for 4 years, while we're watching him on the big screen, he's getting treated for colon
Right.
cancer. Can you imagine? He's going through all of this while he's still acting, while he's still giving all of him. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
For me,
Yeah.
That's
it's for me,
definitely
it's a little
dedication.
it's a little personal for me because my grandmother was diagnosed with colon cancer. I don't
Mm,
want
Mm.
to start crying about it. Might
It's
happen,
okay.
but sorry.
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time. We're here with you.
So when she came to my wedding, a lot of people didn't know that she had colon cancer. Sorry. And she was very strong.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
you never know when it's coming. You never know. Take your
Yeah,
time.
that's
Take your
true.
time. Yeah.
The death of a
Well,
loved one is very hard hitting. Go ahead, Victoria.
so when I think with Chadwick is like because he didn't have his personal life out there, it kind of reminded me of my grandmother. It kind of hit home because when she was at my wedding, no one knew that she had colon cancer.
Yeah.
And she was very strong because everyone said, "Oh, she looks so great. She was smiling
Yeah.
at my wedding." And she was diagnosed at
Mm,
stage 3, just
Wow.
like Chadwick, you know?
mm.
Hmm.
So I kind of relate like with the family how because it's very difficult. Colon cancer is such a hard thing to go through to see your loved
Yes.
one declining, you know,
Yes.
from what they were. Like my grandmother, oh my God, strong Jamaican woman, had her own restaurant. She had a Jamaican restaurant. You know, she loved my husband.
Hmm. Hmm.
Very strong woman. And
Yeah.
to see colon cancer take her down,
Hmm.
it's
Mm.
very hard.
Yeah. It's so hard. And the thing
So
is that this disease, unfortunately, like diabetes and hypertension and dementia, colon cancer disproportionately affects African Americans,
yeah,
especially African American
Males.
men.
Hmm.
And there's a trend going on where you have a lot of people who are contracting this disease or getting this disease earlier. So usually this was
yep,
a disease that people
For
who,
older.
older
yep,
than 50, 60, maybe 70, down that way
yep.
would get this disease. And now, it's getting younger people. And there's some reasons, I've been doing a little research on colon cancer. And that one of the reasons, I was reading a study, they said that a lot of African American people don't want to go to get the test for colon cancer. They don't
Hmm.
want colonoscopies because
Because it's a icky, like it's
Hmm.
icky, and it's that
yes,
area of the body that typically Black men don't want anybody to be around.
Near,
Right.
exactly.
So there's
Right.
yeah,
a stigma attached to getting tested for
yeah,
colon cancer.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's definitely a stigma, and a lot of people might see signs or things that don't look right,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and they ignore them until they get to the point where you can't ignore it anymore. So
Hmm.
being
Hmm.
Yes.
Right.
proactive about your health and just doing
Uh,
these things in a more timely fashion, even if nothing is wrong,
Hmm.
still going to see what's happening can make the difference between life and death.
Hmm.
and Yolandi, I would like to add, if you're seeing signs of fatigue, weakness, rectal bleeding, diarrhea, or even
Oh,
constipation, these
and
are
weight
signs of
loss.
colon cancer. So please, if you're experiencing these, please go out and check yourself.
Absolutely.
And weight loss.
And weight
Weight
loss,
Weight
loss,
yes.
loss,
extreme weight
Hmm.
loss, yes.
Yeah.
which we kind of saw with Chadwick, because I remember one of his last posts. and I think a lot of us overlooked it, just assuming he's doing it for a film. But one of his last
Right.
tweets, either tweet or Instagram, when he was talking about Jackie Robinson, he looked really frail. But I never even thought twice about it. I just assumed,
Right.
it's a movie role. That's what Hollywood does. They
Yeah,
lose
he
weight,
wanted to
they
look
gain
thin.
weight, they lose, they gain. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was super tough.
Yeah.
And also with
I
his death was
definitely.
with his death, I was very reflective over the weekend, like asking myself, what's my purpose? Am I walking in my full purpose? So it's just a time to just look back and say, are we walking our full purpose? Because he lived a full
Absolutely.
life. So it's like, oh
Mhm.
my God, when my turn come, I want to make sure that I did everything that I had to do before I leave.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
Hermelin, like for me is like I feel like he didn't really live a full life because he's
Hmm.
a young man. And I'm 31. I think he was 43.
43.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, I mean he has so much to live.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we
So
don't know
much
when our time
years.
is, so we can't say he
Exactly.
didn't,
But
you know.
it's just the matter of fact when it comes to him, it's just that people, when it comes to your family members who had colon cancer, please tell your other family members to please get a checkup because it's
Yeah.
very important. Because
Yes.
sometimes it's genetic. The way how he was diagnosed was very early on, so most
Mhm.
likely it was genetically
Right.
predisposed. So I
Mhm.
feel
Mhm.
like when it comes to that, please tell your family members, hey, your aunt or hey, your uncle had colon cancer. Please get a checkup.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
And because
agree.
once
Yeah.
you tell your doctor that, hey, I have a close
You're
family member
predisposed. Yes.
predisposed to it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they will allow you, and the insurance company will allow you to get that checkup. And it's very sad that he died at a very young age because
Yeah.
I was looking forward to see his
Like
career,
Black Panther 2,
Yes.
like we were
Exactly.
all
like
we
to
were all waiting for
explode.
Black Panther 2.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. You're
You
all
And I
know,
waiting
think
for that.
so
Obama said very
Mhm.
well
One of
when he talks about.
our listeners, what is it? Dane Levy says, "We are standing with you, Victoria. We know the pain you are feeling is real. It is very hard to lose a loved one." Yes,
thank
it
you.
is.
That's my father-in-law.
Oh, that's so
Thank you so
sweet.
Oh,
much.
Yes, yes, yes. But on a
Um,
positive note, he left so many things.
Yeah.
He did so many great things in pushing us forward and into the spotlight. He did a lot to really open people's eyes through the movie to the greatness of Africa and what it has to offer and what it could be, and to lifting people's spirits and making them feel like, yes, I am a queen. And that black man over
Yeah.
there is my king. And this
Yep.
is what I felt when I went to that movie. I
Yes.
cried in that movie. I
Yes.
felt so proud. My heart was so full that it's like
Mhm.
I was floating when I left there.
yeah.
And that feeling is what we all need to feel, because we need to stand together and really know how wonderful and how great and how special our race is. I don't think we
Mhm.
know. I think there's an awakening happening, and movies like that, along with everything else that's happening around us, we need to really embrace that and really move with it, because this is the way that we can really, hopefully, I don't want to say hope, that we
Mhm.
will create a better change for this
And
country
and
and for
one
the world.
one of the things that stuck out to me about Chadwick is him giving honor to Denzel Washington.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
to me, I don't know, Colleen, if you got a chance to see that, Colleen. Landy, can you hear Colleen? But Colleen, I don't know if you got a chance to see Chadwick acknowledging Denzel, because you remember Denzel had paid his tuition at Howard when he was not in,
yes, I heard about that.
and he
Yeah.
carried
I,
that.
I,
What did you think about that, Landy? Sorry, Colleen.
I heard about that, and they talked
I'm not able to
about.
hear Colleen.
Okay, so Landy cannot hear you, Colleen. So I might have to serve as go
I
between
can
you and
hear
Landy.
her. I can hear her.
I can hear you, Colleen. I just think
I can
Landy
hear
can.
you.
I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, Landy.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Colleen.
Go ahead,
Well,
Colleen. We go.
so so I heard about that, and I thought it was a very good gesture of Denzel to see talent and give that talent an opportunity to flourish and to show its worth in a sense. And not only Denzel, it was Angela Bassett as well, who complimented his work ethic, and she believed in him a lot. And over the weekend, hearing about his death, President Obama made a statement about him to say, to be young, gifted, and Black, to be that power to give them heroes to look up to, and to do all of that while you're in pain. What a great use of his life. And I think that's part of why he probably never really told the public, what he was going through, because he wanted to make his statement in the things that he did and his accomplishments. And that goes to say a lot about this person who came in with a rush, and he did so much in terms of bringing an awareness to a lot of young men and a lot of Black men in America and all over the world. I find it was very powerful. And I think it's not, his history to me is not going to go down as, colon cancer. I'm just looking at the things that he was able to accomplish while struggling with that.
He was our superhero. I agree with Sherlyn Merriman. And I'm just going to say this because I'm that kind of mom. My daughter just joined for the first time, and I'm going to say, hi, Danielle. Thanks for joining. Finally,
Hi,
5
Danielle.
years later.
Hi.
Thank you for joining. But I agree with Sherlyn Merriman when she said he's a true hero. He's absolutely.
Yes.
And a true hero.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, this
I just want
topic
to
just
remind
makes me a hot
everybody.
mess.
It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay to be a hot mess. You're among family. Our top
You
one
are
family.
A
Yes.
hot mess, guys.
Yes. We're all giving you a
you.
hug from
See, look.
afar.
Exactly.
Definitely. I know how you feel. I lost my mom about a year ago. So, and that's another story. We'll go there another day. But for right now,
Another day.
let's clear up
But
this
right now
sound
we
issue
got you,
that we have,
Victoria.
and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Stay locked. Tell your friends to join on. All your friends, your good-looking friends, your ugly friends, everybody. Tell them to come to the top five at night. Sorry, not top five. Come to Ride Along and look for the top 5 at 5. We'll be right back.
Hey, I got some good news for you. Looking for a passionate immigration lawyer with experience that spans over 2 decades? Someone trusted that served immigrant families just like yours? Well, look no more. Now you can benefit from her personal and professional experience. Diane Winter Funde. Schedule a consultation now and get assistance with your immigration journey. Specialize in adjustment of status, B1 business visa, B2 visitors visa, consular processing, deportation defense, naturalization, and more. Give us a call today at 813-815-3529. That's 813-815-3529 or online at winterimmigration.com. Attorney Diane Winter Funde. Law done differently.
All right.
Hello, is everybody there? Can everybody hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we are here. We are here.
We can hear and see in all your beauty, Miss Landy. Landy, are you not hearing?
Can you guys hear me?
We can, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we
All
can.
right. So I can't hear you, but you can hear me. All right. So is there anything else less to say about Chadwick and his family and what we've gotten, or anything else? Any other comments on that?
I will say that for the people who were making fun of him when they saw his photo a couple of weeks ago, we do not know what people are going through privately, so we must be kind,
Exactly.
and just not say anything. Just be kind to each other.
You know what? Hemerlin, is interesting because I remember when I saw a picture of him, he was very frail.
Yeah.
And I was questioning, like, what's going on? But in my heart, I remember I told my husband, I was like, you know what? I need to pray for him and hopefully that everything is going okay with him. I didn't really judge him, but you never know what someone is going through. But when it comes to Hollywood, there's a lot of things that a person may go through, right? You don't know exactly. But I was just hoping that he would get through it.
Yeah, be quiet, be
Whatever
kind, or
it
be
was.
quiet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I hope that he got through
Yeah.
it. You
And I
know,
think there's a lesson in this for all of us as far as giving each other grace, right?
Yes.
Because you see some people, you don't know what they're going through, and I think it's easy to be either dismissive, meaning we carry on with our lives, or it's easy to judge.
yeah.
Right.
It's like
Exactly.
maga, like that person maga sa, that person fat sa. So I think for this, it's a learning lesson and a wake up call for a lot of us, as
Yes.
far as the ability to just give each other some grace, just
And-
give
Yes.
each other
Yes.
little
And
grace.
And Diani, that's what I'm talking about. Like, people need to understand you cannot judge a person.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
cannot. No matter what you think you are, you need to not judge a person because you don't know what they're going through at that moment.
Absolutely.
You don't know their journey.
Mhm.
You know, just pray for them and make sure that they, whatever they're going through, that they get out of it.
Yes. I
Mhm.
agree.
You know.
Yes.
Exactly.
Totally agree. Totally
Yes.
agree.
So I'd like to just
Landy,
say,
Landy, are you
Mhm.
hearing us?
yes, I'm back on.
Yay!
Yes, I
All
can
right.
hear you.
Awesome.
Celebrate.
Yay.
Thanks
This is
everybody
a
for
live
working.
program, and that happens every
It
now and
happens,
then.
and you do it
Yes,
gracefully.
that's okay.
Some grace, Landy. You're
I'm
giving some
trying.
grace.
Yes.
I'm glad
yes,
you can
yes,
hear
yes.
us.
I'm glad I can hear everybody too. So I would just like to say that, like I said, this movie and this young man, um, at 43 years old, passing, he's left a tremendous footprint for many other people to follow in.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the way, Dione, how you mentioned how um, that famous actor, I'm drawing a
Denzel?
blank, Denzel, gave him a
Denzel?
hand up.
Denzel.
We have to give those of us who can afford, don't forget to give a
A
hand
little
up
bit.
to
Yeah.
people who need it, because you don't know the
Exactly.
impact
Exactly.
that you're making on
Believe in
somebody's life.
people.
Believe in
Mhm.
people,
Yes.
share when you
Exactly.
can, give when you can, because that impact, you don't even know how this is going to pay forward in your life and other people's lives.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Very true.
I think that's a
So,
huge reflection of Denzel too, because he's so very humbled in
yes.
in on and off the camera. You've seen it in many ways, and I feel as though one great person seeing another great person before the world gets to
Mhm.
see them is an amazing thing to have.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Next.
Thank you, Uncle Denzel. Thank you.
Thank you,
We
Uncle.
appreciate you.
Yes.
We appreciate
Thank
you.
you, Uncle Denzel.
Yes. So moving forward. So,
And before you move off, Landy, I don't know if Mr. Boseman's family is listening, but here at Top 5, we're offering our condolences to the
Condolences, yeah.
family of Mr. Boseman.
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You never know,
Sincere.
like his cousin could be listening.
Exactly.
You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's true. You
Cousin.
never know who's out. You never know
Yeah.
who's out there.
Mhm.
You never know. So when moving from, somebody passing from cancer, we had Jacob Blake, who passed
Oh,
on August 23rd. I mean, sorry, I'm not saying that he passed. I'm sorry. Erase that.
he's paralyzed.
He 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 was he was shot in his town where he lives, and he was approaching. It was a situation where um I think there was an altercation. I know that his children were in the car, and he turned his back at some point, and 7 shots were fired, and
7.
Jacob Blake took 4 of those shots in his back. Jacob Blake is now paralyzed. He's what you call it? He's handcuffed to his bed, and he has woken up. So there's a lot of things that happened during the week with Jacob Blake. He has awoken, and I was reading, or I saw something where he was asking his father, why did they have to shoot him so many times? So this situation has again hit a big nerve around the world. There's a lot of protests going on. There's a lot of unrest. There was looting and burning. There was another young man, a 17-year-old white male, who decided to go out and uh,
2 people's lives, right?
took up a gun and shot 2 protesters and injured 1.
Mm.
So this is really a bad situation that we're in, and we've heard this all too many times, and I'm getting to the point where I don't even know how to react anymore, because it's like you're angry, but then you get tired of being angry, and you almost get to the
Mm-hmm.
point where you feel like nothing is ever going to change.
Yeah.
What do you ladies think?
Yolande, you know what? The problem with me is like, what I think is, I have a husband who is a black male.
Mhm.
I have brothers who are black males. I have cousins who are black males. And I don't understand why is it necessary to shoot 7 times into someone who's turning their back. Now, and then in their back, to even make it worse. Like for me, it's just like, okay, if you wanted to just shoot someone, why don't you shoot them in their leg, right?
Yeah.
Less deadly,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
But they shot them in their back, which is more deadly
Mm-hmm.
compared to all the other incidents when, you know, for example, I don't recall his name, but the one that went to the church and shot up the church with the,
Yes.
you know, and they took him to Burger King. He didn't even get one shot at his behind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't,
You know what I
you don't
mean?
even
Like,
have- you don't have to go that far back. We can talk about Kyle Rittenhouse, which is the young gentleman that claims he's going to Kenosha to protect property. He's the one that fired the automatic rifle into the crowd. And I'll
Right.
just correct you and say Mr. Blake is no longer handcuffed. There was a $500
That's good.
bond. There wasn't an arrest warrant out for him, right?
mhm.
And so he was, and I will not discuss his criminal history here because to me it doesn't matter, quite frankly.
It
I don't
doesn't.
care.
Yes.
I don't care if he was wanted for murder.
I don't care.
Right.
Exactly.
Do not care, but he's no longer handcuffed to his bed because the bond was paid. I think it was like $500 that was
Mhm.
paid. And I think too, it's too many.
Yeah.
It is.
It's happening
Exactly.
too frequent. It's happening too frequently. Like, and I think
Where is the discretion?
everybody wants to go into the
And-
person's history or why was he walking towards the car?
And you know what?
Why-
Some people are asking, like, well, why he didn't resist, like, why he resist arrest. Like,
Yeah.
to be honest, like, if you were living in the U.S., there's so many people that resist arrest and
Mhm.
they do not come out dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Absolutely.
know?
I
So,
agree.
I mean, I think that's not fair to
And
shoot someone
also,
7 times. It doesn't make any sense to me.
and also, to fear is a real thing. We don't know what we're gonna do if we get pulled over by the police. Because even though I talk to my sons of what they should do,
Yeah.
the fear, because fear tells you to run. And
Yes.
so now you have to calm your brain down and say, no, don't run.
And that's called
Stay
fight.
here. That is hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Fight or
very
flight.
difficult.
And,
You wanna
I'll be
live
honest
life.
too, when I did see him walking towards the car, I didn't understand what was going on. I was like,
Mhm.
where's he going? Why is he walking to? But that does not justify the bullet. Tase him, take him down. You are trained. You're all police officers. You're trained to take somebody down. I want to see those procedures being used equally. Just like
Yes.
how Kyle Rittenhouse with his AR-15 or whatever the gun was, he had an automatic rifle. He walked right past the police officers. He walked right past the police officer with his gun.
Exactly.
Right,
I want
exactly.
to see the
To
same-
tell you,
Yes, the
I
same
want to see
treatment.
the same treatment meted out. If you're gonna shoot Jacob Blake, that means Kyle Rittenhouse gets shot as well.
Shot too.
Right.
And he
Right.
was
Right.
Exactly.
armed. And he was armed. He
And he was
executed
armed.
twice, 2 people. 2
Mhm.
people. He executed 2 people.
Mhm.
I think that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. And,
Yes.
and people need to understand that when it comes to that, they can't be impartial to say, oh, well, why were they walking towards the car and why
Right.
he didn't resist, why he resisted
Yeah.
this and that. We don't know the whole story. Whatever the case may be, they shouldn't have shot him 7 times. 7 times is too
Right.
much.
Agreed.
Okay?
And
One
to
time
hear the
into the leg.
story.
That's it.
And to hear the story of him, actually trying to de-escalate a situation
Mhm.
makes it even worse. That someone that is trying to do something good and positive
Yeah.
meets that type of, payback in a sense. Like if you're trying to do something good while you're Black, these are the outcomes. But
Yes.
here you are, a young white teenager is doing something off the top that's just wrong. and you pass by him as though he's not a threat. So that's just to show you that they're using, your color, your skin color as being a threat, and we're not a threat.
No.
I don't
And
think what we look like should be written into you.
and why is our skin color so much of a threat? To me, it's just like I don't
Exactly.
understand.
Why?
Like I
Well,
can't
Before you
comprehend
walk
that.
up to me and find out who I am, you're already judging me based off what I look like. Because I'm coming with all the negatives. You're already scared of me for whatever reason. And God forbid I open my mouth and I say something wrong. That's like a double whammy without you getting
Or
to know
you're,
who I am. And so,
or Colleen, like you're aggressive.
Yeah.
exactly.
Or I'm going to play
Exactly.
devil's advocate, ladies. What could Mr. Blake have done differently? I'm playing devil's advocate.
I mean,
For one, the fact that you were walking, knowing, I just feel like, as you said, when he was walking to the car. Now, I'm under the impression if you're walking to the car, is either they would be asking you for something that it's in your car to provide. But when I saw them pulling the gun and, putting it on his back, I'm just like, okay, now this has turned violent. I would stop. Me just knowing what's going on in this world, I'm not taking any chances. I'm going to stand there and I'm going to provide you what you need the best way I can, but I'm not turning my back on cops or with anybody with a gun in their hand. I'm
to be
sorry.
honest, it's like,
right.
what can he do differently? You have Breonna
Yeah.
Taylor, Tamar Rice. You have so many people
Yeah.
that has been a victim. What can they do differently?
Yeah.
What could they
There's
do
nothing.
differently?
What my
No,
question
Rifles
is,
in her house.
No, but I want us to be devil's advocate. So I have a nephew who's a police officer in San Diego. And a lot of times when these things happen, I like to go to him because I want to make sure that I am fully aware. Remember,
Right.
I am saying, as playing the devil's advocate,
But,
what could he have done differently? I like what you
stop.
said, Colleen. Could he have stopped?
But
Right?
Right.
Gianni, let me just tell you something. I remember driving through a town. I'm not going to disclose the town. Driving to the town, probably about 6 years ago, going to my friend's house to drop off some soup. And a police officer pulled me over, and it's an all-white town, and asked me, "Where are you going?" Pulled me over to ask me, "Where am I going?" My heart was racing so fast.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
Because why? First of all, why are you asking me where am I going?
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, I'm like, I'm going to drop off some soup to my friend because he's sick. But if it was anyone, any other person, most likely they wouldn't have pulled them over.
Right.
You know,
I'm loving
and I
what Shay
always
is doing
remember
right
that.
now.
I
I
always
really
remember
am.
that.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
know,
really,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
really
loving
tough.
what Shay is saying. Until the color of a man's skin is no longer significant to the color of his eyes, everywhere is war. And basically, Shay, we're seeing that. We're seeing that here. Most of us have experienced it. We're scared of experiencing it because no one wants to feel as though, listen, I'm not making it home tonight. I'm not making it back to my kids. But this is the reality that one wrong thing
scary one.
or one right
Scary
thing
reality.
could get you killed. It's like,
and it's
Yeah.
the truth because the
Right.
thing about it, the problem is that people are looking at people of color as a threat because of whatever the media may be, right? So like for me, it's just like I'm always involved with people, right? So I'm
Right.
at house to house to house. I'm a real estate agent, so I'm house to house to house. And I remember, like I was telling my husband not too long ago, I was on a block, and a lady, I called her a next Karen, was like pacing back and forth, and I'm like, oh crap, she's gonna call the police on me.
Yeah.
You know, and then ran up the stairs. It's like, oh, can I help you? And I'm like, I'm a real estate agent. And then the owner's like, oh, hey, how are you? This and this and that, you know. But at that moment, she could have called the police on me. I could have been the next victim on the list.
Right. Anybody,
As
any
if,
one of us.
maybe you should have resist arrest. But in actuality, it's just because of the color of my skin.
But my question is, when will it end, and what can we do moving forward?
So I remember years ago, we had, I think there was a movement for these cards where it tells you what to do if you're stopped by the police. I think we need to get those cards back out. And I'm not saying that justifies what happens to Jacob Blake. I'm not saying it justifies Breonna Taylor, but I know it's a conversation I have with my son. My son is 5'11", black as black. And these are conversations we have. And I think we need to get those cards back out into the hands of our community about how is this interaction with law enforcement going to go. I think we need to, because I think police officers I think it's like open season where they think they can get away with some of these actions.
But it's the fear. It's the fear. I think it's the fear that is built on. It's that fear, that it's built on. Because if you think about it, I was trying to get a point across earlier that, when you listen to what some of the politicians are saying right now, and they're using this fear and this tactic of, okay, we're going to start moving. These people are going to come and they're going to take things from you, or these type of people are going to do certain things, and they're building up this fear that, hey, we are coming as a threat, and you wonder why, for what?
Well, the threat is there. The threat is real.
I don't think it's the matter of what we could prevent, because, like I said, I live in an area where there's predominantly white people. And I have, went to the police station, maybe for like some, I have threats or whatever the case. Because like I said, I'm a real estate agent. So, I get crazy text messages, or maybe my husband needs things to be done and they don't want to deal with us. So even though you say, okay, maybe we should do this and this and that, it's a matter of they have the mentality. They have that racist mentality, and you cannot change that. And
I definitely understand. I definitely understand, but I'm answering the question or posing the question, what can we do? We cannot, of course we're going to go out and vote, but in the meantime, we also have to say, what can we do to help our community? Because I don't want to see another mother on television bawling her eyes out.
Right.
How about for me? Is this
look at what Denise is saying. Denise said, why the card? Is that just for Blacks? And I don't think it's just only for Blacks.
I think it's for everybody.
We are the ones that feel it.
But we're the ones that are being affected.
The majority of people, exactly. The majority of people, Denise.
Right.
I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing your name right.
So sorry, Colleen, that's my cousin. So let me just say, Mike, that's my cousin. So
hi, cousin.
Hi, cousin.
Hi, Aunt Nene. So when it comes to, let's say, for example, you have people that I know who are of Indian descent that would basically say, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you go through this," right? They cannot relate on what we go through. But at the end of the day, it's like, what can we do?
Right.
Well, there's
something that we can do.
I would say that are being done.
But I would say it's support Black businesses.
Yes.
Where you put your money is important.
Absolutely.
Support Black businesses. Support.
Howard Zinn talked about, a fear in his book. And I always try to, dig a little bit deeper to figure out or try to relate to that fear. And, it's just like time and time again, we've proven that all we want is just to be left alone, to do the things that we need to do equally as everybody else, mind our own business, go about our way, and we all could be good. You understand? I don't think we're asking for anything. I don't think we've even had the opportunity to ask for what it is that we really want, and be heard. But then you come with this, prepackaged fear. And it begs the question, what is it that you did that you're so fearful that if we really get to find out how we would take it?
Right.
I'm
we're really fighting against white supremacy. And
we have to make a shift.
It's unfortunately that's what we're fighting against. It's founded on the U.S. soil. So, I mean, most most people are still, it's something that's passed on from generation to generation. It's something that you have to change your mental state to understand that, hey, everyone is equal. I mean, unfortunately, like it's still in our lifetime that we have to deal with, and it's very hard because exactly like our grandparents, obviously my grandmother is still living, and that means there's other people that's my age that have grandparents that's still living. That means that that type of culture was passed down.
It's passed on,
right? So if that was passed down into my mother's generation, most likely was passed down into their children's generation. So at the end of the day, it's basically changing the mindset of people.
Exactly. Can you ladies hear me?
And hold on, ladies.
Yes.
Can you hear Landy?
Yes. Okay.
Yes. I can hear you.
Hear you, Landy. Go ahead, Landy. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say that this is a really big discussion, and we've really spent a lot of time on it, but it's very timely and it needs to be said. What we're experiencing here is a fight against white supremacy. A lot of the people who are out there marching and protesting they're brown people, they're black people, they're white people. Everybody's out there because this is a huge systemic problem, not only here in the US, but in many other places. Many other countries have issues similar to what we have going on here. All I can say is some good things have come out of this. We were talking about like what can we do. So this week the NBA, the MLB, Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer, the WNBA, tennis, all of them decided to not play. And that shows a solidarity in itself. We have to start hitting people where it counts. When it comes to people's money, people
pay attention.
And they pay attention. And we do have so much power. We are spending so much money. There's so many black men and women who are opening businesses. We have so much going on. We have a lot of degrees, or a lot of people are making a lot of money. We need to recognize that power because every other group recognizes the power they have if they come together or if they think differently. If we start thinking the way that they do, like, you know what, you guys going to do this, then we're not going to play games. We're not playing basketball. We're not doing this. We need to start thinking more along those lines. Exactly. And in addition to us, to the NBA in particular, they said that they wanted to take some serious action. What they are doing is a lot of the stadiums that these basketball players play in, I don't know which ones, but I know there's a few, they're going to be turning them into centers for voting. And this is a direct way that you can make a big impact because we all know that voter suppression is real. And it's going to be, during the last election was one thing, but this
it's going to be worse than this one.
It's worse. We already know that he's trying to sabotage
it's going to be worse.
The postal, the U.S. postal system. We know all of these things. So we have to prepare. This is war right now. This is war, and I feel, and I felt this for a long time, that if we don't get this in check, I feel like we could be in a civil war. I've never really thought along those lines before of something like this really happening. But I think we're getting to a point where these things can really pop off.
And that's what the white supremacist wants.
Yes.
I think they want that.
They do.
They absolutely do.
They've been preparing for it for a year. For years. So
yes.
I think I think we were talking to, when you think about it, this little Rittenhouse, he had an automatic rifle.
Yes.
I don't even think he's old enough to wipe his own nose.
Seriously.
And he had an automatic rifle.
Yeah. He went to kill.
So these are things that we have to think about. And it's funny when you looked at the news media, how he was covered. He was shown painting a house. So he had taken part in some community service, whereas Mr. Blake was shown, they wanted to bring up his arrest history.
Of course.
So this is more than just, this is more than just the police department. This is more than just the current administration. This is systematic also with the media.
Absolutely.
So we have to have like deeper conversations about where this is coming from. Why is it that someone who killed somebody with an automatic rifle is portrayed as painting a house?
Still
And
living.
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if they say that that young man had mental issues. So
Or
They
he,
will.
yeah,
you
or
know
he
how
was
that.
justified, or he was
They
justified, and that
will.
is,
Of
yeah,
course, that's
and that is
gonna
what I
come.
mean. And
They're
that is
going
what
to
I
come.
mean about it. It has to start with our media. Don't buy the junky newspaper that blasts Mr. Blake's criminal history on the front page. Don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Do not buy it.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're the same ones
Exactly.
who underreport when the
You start.
perpetrator is Caucasian, and then overreport when the perpetrator is black. So don't
Yeah.
buy
Yes.
that jankety
It's either you're it's either you're
newspaper.
it's either you're a gangster or you have mental illness.
One
Yeah.
or the other. Yes.
Hmm.
Very true.
Yeah.
So these are some tough times, guys. I
Which is
mean,
very sad.
it's sad. But I think that there's an awakening happening,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm excited and I'm nervous and I'm scared about where this is going to go. But I
Hmm.
believe that this country is in a transition. And the fact of the
Yes.
matter is that regardless of Democrats or Republicans, Trump is not the man who can lead us in the right direction. He's just not built for this.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot do anything to help this situation. He's exacerbating the whole situation. Everything is getting worse. He is not built for this moment that we are in right now. Right now, we are in the midst of
Yeah.
a corona
He's not
pandemic.
modeling that position very
He's
well.
not. Over
No.
180,000
Yeah.
people
He's
have died
very
of
he's
corona.
not modeling that.
Unemployment is through the roof.
Yeah. I don't think
Police
he's modeling
brutality is
that
ridiculous.
at all.
Yeah. There's a lot at risk right now. There's a
Yeah,
lot at risk.
You know,
Yolandi, I
it's
think you're right. I think it's a great awakening for us
as
to open our eyes.
Yes.
Open our eyes and open our ears to see
Mhm.
everything that is happening, even with the pastors and all this stuff that's going on. It's a great awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We need to open our eyes and ears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it is. I think
I love that you talked about.
you don't
Did you
want to
guys
really
see
put
Did you
color
guys see
into
where?
that.
Did you guys see where the pastor got caught with
But,
his pants down?
Ah.
Yeah.
I know you
Heard of
mentioned pastor. I'm sorry. He got caught. Now, let me ask you, and for those of you that are not aware, Landy, I think you have some notes on this one. I think it's Jerry
I do.
Fallwell. Tell
Yeah,
us a little bit
Jerry-
about Mr. Fallwell.
So Jerry
Yeah,
Falwell.
please, like,
Jerry
for real.
Falwell is a big evangelist
Mhm.
from Virginia. And he was the president of this school called Liberty University. And he recently decided to give up his position at the school. And he gave up his position, and he's also getting a $10 million payout for giving up his position somehow. So I wish I could be like him.
Wow.
But
it
on
was his
top of
father.
that,
His father founded the school, right?
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
So he's also very good friends with Trump, no doubt. So he's good friends with Trump. He finds himself in
Wow.
this entanglement. So there's a situation going on. His wife, yes, I love that word. His wife, Miss Becky, had this 20-year-old.
He's entangled.
Yes.
It's an entanglement.
Entanglement. The 20-year-old young man was basically a boy toy for his wife.
Yeah.
And the
entangled.
story is that Jerry Falwell Jr., he would like to watch his wife have sex with this young man. He would watch it on video, or he would actually be in the room, and they would go and they would have their liaisons in hotels and things around town, and have their fun. So the story has come out. He basically said that he had.
But he's
nothing to do
acknowledged
with
it.
this
But he has
situation.
acknowledged it.
He has acknowledged it. Yes, he's acknowledged it, but he said that he was not a part of it. He was not a part
He never
of it.
participated.
He never participated.
Mm,
But the man says otherwise. He says that this relationship that he had going on with Miss Becky
So what?
was
So
going on for
watching
about
is not
7 years.
participating anymore.
Oh, okay.
He would
Now,
watch.
But let me
He
ask
just-
you, lady, isn't this his private life? Isn't this their private life? Like, why do we care what happens in their bedroom?
7 years.
Yeah,
Actually-
it is a private life, but he is a pillar of the community. He is the president of the university for the
It's his bedroom. For crying out loud.
Bedroom, but
It's
it's
his bedroom. I don't care what happens in your bedroom.
I
No,
mean,
but he is leading the flock. He is leading. He is against the LGBT company, but yet he could say whatever he wants. But he wasn't there. He was just watching. He participates. But he's preaching against one thing, and then he's doing the same exact thing he's preaching against. No, he needs to fall. He needs to take responsibility for his actions. This is bull.
SHIT.
let me say,
Yeah.
first of all, if his dirty laundry is out there, you're gonna have to claim it. That's how I feel.
It's easier to just claim it.
Exactly.
Yes. He should just claim it. So
But
Oh my God,
And he
so
likes to
comment-
watch, so he is a willing participant.
he didn't actively participate. He
that's
just
what he
watched.
said. That's what he
That's
said.
what he said.
Colleen,
That's
but
what
we
he
know
said.
differently because 3 people has come out. 3 people, like, come on now. It's Grande, it's Bello, it's Cross White.
yes.
They were doing it. They all had their little polyamory,
Yeah.
Grammy, whatever the word is, their little poly.
Exactly. That's what they do.
They
Yeah.
all had it going on. That's his
They were
Yes.
all in. They
Grand.
were all
Yeah.
roped up
They-
in
that's
It was their thing. It was their thing.
Yeah, that's
It
their
was their
thing.
thing.
They're kinky people.
To be
Yeah.
honest,
But
I
on
don't
a
really
You know,
care about
on a-
what he wants to do.
That's what they do
on a
for
serious,
fun.
yeah. On a serious note, I just feel that it's just hypocrisy. Like, as you say, I don't care what go on in his bedroom per se, but because
Right.
he's out there and he's a church leader and he rules with a very strict iron. I heard in his school it's only 3-second hugs. You can. He teaches purity. He teaches all these good things, values, and to be doing that is the biggest hypocrisy I have ever seen in my lifetime.
Yes. He's a hypocrite. But
And
you
this
know
is
what?
what I'm talking about.
And that's the very same people that cause all this corruption and all this things, because it's like you're living a double life and you're making people, are one. And
I think Colleen's breaking up.
And this is what I'm saying.
double-edged sword when it comes to
Politics,
listening.
politics and religion should not mix.
Agreed.
I
But they
agree.
always do.
It should
I
be
agree.
separate.
I agree.
Be separate.
But
I
it
agree.
always do. It always do. I mean, I know. Like my grandmother always said to me when I was younger, listen to the message. Don't worry about the messenger. And I did that for years and years.
No.
But now it's getting harder to listen to the message and not look at the messenger.
Well, you need to look at the messenger.
Yes. Hello. Hello. Yes.
Because
I'm looking at the messenger.
Not every message.
So we have some comments. We have a lot of comments. We're having too much fun. We're having too much fun over here, ladies. Spice Sugar said Spice Sugar was walking in Virginia with 3 other guys when they were stopped by police because they fit the description. And he said nothing much you can really do because they have their perception about Black people. That's true. One of the comments that I really wanted to hear, and I know we're cutting it close, Landy, but one comment I wanted us to, one comment said we should refer to ourselves as colored and not Black. I was like, do we know how negative that word?
I think
it's Grace Lynch. Let me read it and I want to hear you guys' response. Grace Lynch says, please, ladies, it is time we stop calling ourselves Black. We are not Black. It is better to use the word colored people.
No.
Black means darkness or no light. And I'm curious, Miss Grace Lynch, if you're still on, tell us what you mean by that, because the term colored is very negative.
Let me say, the thing about it is that I would love to know where she's
right.
Where she is.
Or call us in, Miss
call.
Grace Lynch, call us 718-701-5720, because I want to hear why you would say use the word colored and not Black.
The thing about that, people don't understand that the history with this country. I don't know where she lives at this moment, but when it comes to the saying colored, I find that very offensive. Like for me, I have no problem in calling myself Black. First of all, when it comes to U.S. history, they made Black as a negativity. Not only U.S. history, Euro history.
Exactly.
Euro history, yes.
Because the Black cat was seen as like like, oh my God, like bad luck, this and this and that. Anything black was seen as bad luck, negative, right?
Yes.
So for me, yes, I am a black
Exactly.
woman,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I have no problem saying that I am a black
I'm a
woman,
black woman. Yeah.
because
Mhm.
Euro history tends to
And
say that
then
black
can
is
you guys hear
bad and white is what is
Mm.
more better,
Mhm.
So
Colored. The word colored just seems
Can
very
you guys hear
outdated to
me
me. I just
better
feel
And
now?
cringe.
colored is outdated. That's how they used to
Yeah.
Yeah.
refer.
No
We're
color for
colored
me.
folk. It's
We
very
can hear you,
southern.
Colleen.
that's
Sorry,
We can hear
Colleen, go
you.
ahead.
1950s.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
Yeah.
wanted to make a
No
point
color
to
here.
what she said, and that's just to story was saying means and
Colleen is breaking up.
just
Colleen, you're breaking up.
we see
Yeah.
us grow, you know.
But yeah, I don't like the word colored. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I wish you would call in. I mean, we're going a little bit over time
Yes.
right now.
718-701-5720. But
Yes.
maybe next week she'll call in. But
Maybe
I just
next week.
thought that was interesting that she said use the word
Yes.
colored, which I find to be very negative. It was used in, antebellum or postbellum.
Yes.
On the
Right.
doors, colored folks. Remember they had the sign colored,
Right. And the
white,
colored pool
colored
and the
pool,
colored
the
fountain.
colored this, the
No.
water fountain for colored
Yeah.
folks.
That's crap. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I would
Agreed.
or
That's
even I think like in South Africa, they would call the Trevor Noahs, I think would be considered colored.
colored. Yeah, no, that's crap.
Yes.
I'm
So
sorry.
it was always given with a negative connotation.
No.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
so I just that just caught my eyes, and I'm sorry that I cut you off.
It's interesting.
No,
At the
yeah.
end of the day, we all are
Yeah.
part of the Afro diaspora, and we need to
Yes.
embrace that. At the end of the day, no matter where you're from, we're all a part of the Afro diaspora. So we need to embrace that. Yes, we are Black. That is not a problem. I am
Mhm.
very proud of that, and I have no
Mhm.
problem saying that. I am a Black.
Absolutely.
Very proud of that. All the magic with it, Black magic.
Black girl magic, double snaps.
I love
Let's get some
it.
snaps. Black girl magic.
Uh-huh. Well, this has been so much fun, guys. I can't
I
believe that the time
know.
is finished.
All
Next week is going to be a great show because next week we have Labor Day coming up.
Labor
And
Day.
yes,
Yes.
Labor Day.
Yeah, find your
if you-
flag.
Find your flag. If you guys have like old
Representing, bring
costumes,
your flag.
wear it. Wear whatever you want. Next week is going to be a fun week.
I'm
We
looking
are
forward.
going to be celebrating our Caribbean heritage and our backgrounds. So bring your flag, bring your rag, bring your feathers, whatever you have, and come and sit with the top fun. We're going to have fun at 5 o'clock. All right. This has been a
Yes.
great show, guys. Thanks for all of your input. Thanks to everybody who joined us today. If you really love what you see, please go to GoFund Live and support us. And make sure that you keep our number. You didn't call this week, but next week, make sure you call. Call in. Bye,
Thanks for joining,
guys.
Geraldine. Thank you,
Bye,
Mulvi
everyone.
Salmon. Thank you, Spice
Bye.
Buffy. Who else
See
we got to
you.
Thank
thank?
you,
Thank
everyone.
everybody for joining in. See you
Yes.
next week. See you next week.
Bakers.
Bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
joining.
Bye.
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 We're waiting for the music and we don't hear the music.
We have to
yet.
start
can
doing
make our
dance
own
outs.
music.
Okay. Well, I
Thank
guess
you,
we can
Vernon
continue.
Neal. Thank you, Shay Nini Land. Thank you,
Yes,
Vernon
we have to do
Neal.
our dance.
Yes.
Thank you, Veron, for looking on.
Hi, Sugar Grace Lynch. Oh, you still have your Russian, was it Russian
Yes.
champagne to go drink
Russian sparkling wine. So I'm gonna go have my dinner
with
and
Russian
then I'm gonna
sparkling
have
wine
some of this because this week has been a big
Champagne.
week.
to
All right.
celebrate.
It
Celebrate.
deserves some sparkling wine.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
Say hi to my sister, Michelle.
Geraldine,
Thanks for tuning in.
Geraldine saying that term colored is derogatory.
Agreed.
Yeah.
To each his
Agreed.
own. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 Color.
Yes.
Look at that. Oh no. All right.
All right.
Yes.
Happy
So
Sunday,
Master
Spice.
Control, Happy. It's time. It's now 6:10. This has been great.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to everybody.
Do you emoji? I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Do you emoji? You should. Emoji, a brand new social media platform where you can social your way. With a simple and quick way to engage, meet new friends, and social the way you just love to. No annoying blocking or censorship. Check out emoji.com from your mobile or desktop PC. Emoji.com. Do you emoji? Well, you should. Log in now. Emoji.com. Do you emoji?
Emoji.com. Log in, sign up, and emoji.